Hello and welcome back to another Dragon Storm Studios video. And today we're looking at part 2 in a series on the creative process. We began last week by drawing a gorilla in a weeping sort of pose without any reference material, just kind of drawing, blocking out the image so we knew whereabouts the gorilla would be. I've added in off camera the raptor. It kind of looks part raptor, part T-Rex at the moment. I think I was inspired a little bit here at the bottom anyways by that scene at the end of Jurassic Park where the Tyrannosaur kind of makes its big play and saves the main characters from the raptors. I need to look up a picture, so it's a placeholder at the moment. I did look up pictures of gorillas, however, and that's why the image looks so different. The feet in particular look so much better now because I didn't realize how short gorillas' legs are and how long the arms are. But I guess it makes sense because they do travel often on 4 legs and the arms are just massive. They're just enormous. So I'm going to be working a little bit today on the gorilla. And then in the next video, I'll look up the pictures of raptors and T-Rexes and I'll work on this bottom image here as well. But I just want to spend a little bit of time kind of explaining my thought process. I've done lots of videos where I've drawn things for you, dear viewer, but very few where I actually kind of show the minutia, the bits that take up all the time. So I'm going to just talk my way through that a little bit here, kind of describing some of my decision making. So I noticed that there's a lot of dark areas around the eyes in particular on the gorilla. So I'm really taking pains to make sure there's lots of shadows, especially below the brow ridge like we have here. And I'm still going to show the eyes and the eyelids, but there's going to be a lot of deep shadows there. And that will just make it look so much more menacing, but also more realistic as well, which will be great. Very small ears, and then the arms were covering most of those ears anyways. And then the fur, just lots of little lines that kind of come out from the center, in this case the nose, and kind of come down. It'll give it that hairy sort of appearance, and it'll just look awesome when it's done. Now, a part of me really wants to make this drawing in color because Beast Boy, of course, in the comics anyways, turns into green animals, and that's how the artists are able to kind of show that it's Beast Boy and not just a gorilla or T-Rex or Pteranodon or whatever else he's turned into. But the more I kind of thought about it, the more I wanted to kind of leave it just black and white, because that way, if you don't know who Beast Boy is, or you don't care about the DC Comics at all, you can still get something from this video. It's still a drawing of a gorilla after all. So that might actually make more sense, even though secretly deep down, and I'm not really much of a fan of color normally, deep down I think I really do like the idea of making this a little more colorful. And not that I don't do color. There are many times when I add color to pictures. It's not like I never do it. It's just that it's a very rare sort of occasion. I'm not a huge fan of coloring, although I have to admit, when I add color to something, it does usually make it look better. But it's a lot more, I think, classy looking to make things black and white, and especially with portraits. Portraits in particular, I'm a huge fan of how they look in black and white. And that's my main focus. I love portraiture, so that's kind of where I stem a lot of my decision making from. Although I have enjoyed a lot of the other sorts of things I've drawn for the channel in the last couple of months, certainly. So as you can see already, just adding some dark to the picture really makes it look more ferocious because, oh my goodness, if you ever look at a picture of a gorilla or type in gorilla angry, they are fearsome beasts, and I would not want to come across one at all in the wild, just because they're unpredictable. I mean, even while going on a walk, if I see a dog off of its leash in a driveway, and it does that whole thing where it stops and looks at me, especially if it's a big dog. That's what the Chihuahua was with a big dog. It's like, oh, dude, leash your pet, please. that thing looks terrifying. It's probably like this big cuddle monster, really, but still, there's this natural, I think, instinctual human fear of predators. And good Lord, if you get into the territory or bad graces of a gorilla, I don't think there'd be much hope. Kind of like a bear, same sort of thing. I would do terrible in the wild. I am very happy that I live in a city and away from death and real monsters like this. But wow, just such a cool creature. And he's going to be amazing when he's finished, I think. So I'm going to spend a bit more time on some of the fur and some of their details, but you can kind of see it coming along, and that process really does lend itself to the kind of really dynamic poses and epic sorts of images that we're going for here. So I hope you enjoyed that video. We'll do part 3 next, and I'll finish up off screen the gorilla, and I'll work out what I'm doing with the raptor, and then we'll see how that turns out in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.